He was plain and unattractive, so after years of marriage, her husband chose a younger woman from his office. After walking away from a shattered marriage, she decided to leave town for a while and clear her mind, but just as she was loading her bags into the car, her ex-husband suddenly pulled up.
Saul, can you please take me to Coachella?
There was an urgent issue at work. He wanted Soline to go in his place and take their daughter to the show. Soline did not want to change her plans, but when she saw her daughter begging, she gave in. She never imagined that such an ordinary decision would completely change her life. As soon as they arrived at the venue, her daughter excitedly ran off with her friends, leaving Soline standing there alone. She had no interest in any of it, so she found a lounge and decided to wait quietly. She had barely sat down when the woman beside her suddenly said,
"Getting mooned." What?
The Moon she meant was the hottest band around right now. Fans had come from all over just to see them in person. That was exactly why her daughter was there. But Soline could not care less about idols. She excused herself to use the restroom and stepped outside to get some air. At that moment, a man stepped out of a trailer across from her. Soline assumed it was a mobile bathroom. She knocked carefully on the door, but when it opened, a handsome young man stood there. The moment their eyes met, his heart skipped a beat.
Do you mind?
Oh, you want to use the bathroom?
Yeah.
Soline thought he was there for the same reason, but when she came back out, he was still standing there, watching her. She immediately thought something was wrong and scolded him, but the young man calmly replied,
It's actually my trailer.
This is your trailer?
Yeah, I'm in the band, we're performing on the main stage, and now
August Moon?
yeah.
Realizing she had walked into someone else's space, Soline felt deeply embarrassed and wanted to leave immediately. But just as she turned to go, Hayes stopped her. He assumed she was a fan and invited her to stay for a drink. Unable to refuse, Soline stayed, but explained she was not a fan. She was only there for her daughter. If her ex-husband had not been busy, she would never have come. That was when Hayes realized she was single. The smile on his face said everything. Just then, a staff member arrived to announce the fan meeting was about to begin. Hayes needed to get ready, but before Soline could leave, he casually started changing his clothes right in front of her. Embarrassed, Soline quickly turned away, but his youthful face and strong build still drew her eyes back more than once. When the staff returned to discuss the show, Soline quietly slipped away. What she did not know was that this idol, nearly 20 years younger than her, had already fallen for her. Soon, the fan meeting began. When August Moon appeared, the crowd erupted. Soline had never realized just how popular they were. On stage, Hayes spotted her immediately, and when their eyes met, Soline felt an unexpected stir in her heart. As night fell, the concert officially began. The atmosphere was electric. Hayes and his band poured everything into the performance. Their energy and powerful vocals set the crowd on fire. Even Soline, who had never cared for idol culture, found herself moving with the music. Near the end of the show, Hayes prepared a surprise. Inspired by their meeting, he wrote a song for Soline and performed it live. His voice felt like light, breaking through the walls around her heart. Even the pain of her divorce seemed to fade away. In that moment, she understood that even in the darkest times, life could still offer unexpected gifts. But Soline was a single mother. She knew her place. A future with a celebrity was impossible. After the concert, Soline returned to her gallery. She told herself that night was over, that it belonged to the past. She needed to move on. Men still noticed her. They admired her confidence, her elegance, the quiet strength she carried. But after 40, Soline had learned to be careful with her heart. Every invitation, every gesture of interest, she turned down, until one day, Hayes appeared in front of her again.
Hey.
Hi.
He said he was there to buy some art. Soline hesitated, but she believed him. She walked him through the gallery, piece by piece, explaining what each work meant to her, where it came from, and why it mattered. Hayes listened, really listened. Then, almost casually, he said he wanted to buy all of them. Soline froze. To her, it felt wrong. These were not decorations. They were parts of her life, moments she had shaped with her own hands. To hear them spoken of so lightly felt like watching someone grab fruit off a street stand. Hayes noticed her reaction immediately. He told her the truth. He genuinely loved the work, and even buying everything here would not be enough. His apartment was enormous, empty, and he wanted to fill it with things that felt alive. Soline studied his face. There was no arrogance there, only sincerity. In the end, she chose to trust him. She offered to take him to a friend's art warehouse. Outside, fans and media had already gathered. Hayes stayed hidden in the car. Not long after, they arrived. Inside the warehouse, art filled every corner, too much to take in all at once. But one painting stopped Soline in her tracks. She stood there quietly.
What do you feel when you look at it?
Everything.
Hayes did not answer right away, but he remembered the question. In that quiet space, they talked about art, about life, slowly, about where they came from and where they hoped to go. The longer they talked, the harder it became to ignore what was growing between them. Finally, Hayes spoke. Most people, he said, thought they knew him. They saw the stage, the spotlight, the noise, but Soline never cared about any of that. She did not ask who he was. She did not treat him like someone untouchable. To him, that made her real and incredibly attractive.
So I guess what I'm doing here is just trying to get to know you better.
Soline did not know how to respond, but when they left the warehouse, something had already changed. As they were about to go to dinner, a fan suddenly recognized Hayes. To avoid the attention, Soline invited him to her home instead. The moment Hayes stepped inside, he felt it. Warmth, calm, something familiar. He told her about his childhood. His parents had divorced early. His mother remarried. His father had never truly been there. By the time he was 16, he had already learned what it felt like to be alone. Now, more than fame or applause, he wanted a sense of family. Soline listened, and for the first time in a long while, she let her guard down. She told him about her marriage, how they met, how they fell in love, how everything seemed perfect, and how, without her knowing, it all fell apart. Everyone around her knew, everyone except her. For an entire year, she had even considered forgiving him, but the answer she received was simple. He loved someone else. Hayes' eyes filled with tears. Two people, both wounded in different ways, finally saw each other clearly. The moment grew heavy with unspoken emotion. Then a phone call rang. While Soline stepped away, Hayes walked to the piano. The moment his fingers touched the keys, music filled the room. Soft, honest, unguarded. Each note carried something he could not say out loud. When Soline returned, she stopped to listen, but Hayes could no longer keep playing. He stood up, took her hand gently in his. For a brief moment, everything else disappeared. Then reality returned. The age difference, the failed marriage, the fear of getting hurt again. Soline pulled her hand away. She told him this could not go any further. Hayes did not argue. As he left, he quietly placed his watch on the table. After the door closed, Soline stood there in silence. Her chest ached in a way she did not understand. Just then, her daughter appeared. Soline quickly composed herself. Later that night, she noticed the watch Hayes had left behind. Soon after, her daughter left for summer camp. The house felt emptier than ever. That night, Soline received a message. At first, she thought it had been sent by mistake, but it was Hayes. His words were filled with longing, with restraint, with hope. Her heart stirred again. She watched his old videos, smiling without realizing it. Holding the watch in her hand, she finally admitted the truth. She had never let him go. The next morning, Soline boarded a plane. She told herself she was only returning the watch, but as she arrived at Hayes' hotel, her hands trembled. After steadying her breath, she knocked on his door, and in that moment, she discovered a shocking secret, one that would change her life forever. Want to know what happens next? Follow me. The story continues.